My name's Ajay. I'm the owner and manager here at B.Nimble. We've had this cafe for about 6 years now. We're all glued to our TV, of course, waiting for the news and waiting for Dan and Andrews to announce, about what the restrictions are. The partners all came together and we all knew that whatever happens, we'll support one another and we'll get through this together. And I think having partners that understand that was, I think for me at that point, really important. Because I felt it could have gone both ways, right? It could have gone in a way where the partners get really upset. Hey, Ajay, you need to do everything you can to make sure the business survives. But they also, I guess, understood that, hey, you've got a family, so let us know where we can come in and support you. If you need more time with your family during this time, let us know, we'll work things out. And I think that, for me, was very comforting. Yeah, so obviously when we went into lockdown, the first time around, the shop was emptied out. We had to stack all our tables and chairs aside. And we really had to decide what we want to do now. And one of the main things that came up for us was to meet the needs of the locals. So we talked about what kind of service could we provide for the local community. Everyone needed hand sanitizer, everyone needed masks, and that was the early days, because those were quite scarce. And hand sanitizer we knew we could get from our suppliers, so that was one of the first things that we made sure that we could try and get in as much as we can. Next thing was face masks. So I remember when the first lockdown happened, face masks were quite hard to find. And it wasn't mandatory yet, but it was just getting hard to find. And a good friend of mine is a seamstress. She's in the theatre industry, right? So obviously that's one of the industries that shut down as well. So for me, it was something that was kind of killing two birds with one stone, giving her work for something that she can do and to provide a service and a product for customers who are looking for it. So I approached her. I said, hey, obviously there's a bit of a need here. Would you be keen to make face masks for sale? I didn't actually take any profits from it. I just went, you know what? I'm happy to just retail this, so that you get something out of it. And then we started looking, I guess, through our networks as well, or what are the other things that we are able to get our hands on that we can provide to the customers. Next thing, we thought, our suppliers, because you get pasta, you get rice, fruit and veg was easy, milk, bread. So we just went, if we can get our hands on all these things, why not supply them? That way customers don't have to go to supermarkets where the shelves were empty anyway. But our thought process was just always about what the customers needed and what we can get our hands on. Next thing was, okay, how do we then engage the community who are coming in this space, and what can we do to encourage them? So one of the things we came up was, everybody who came in all had good intentions. Everybody came in very and they were encouraging us. They would come and speak to us, go, how are you guys going? You guys doing all right? We want to support you guys, tell us how we can support you. And that idea came why don't we put up some post-it notes that the customers themselves can write for each other and for people who walk by who read. So we put a post-it pad there and we said, just write some encouraging notes and pop them in glass. So that's where I guess that kind of community engagement idea thing came up from. I think it's important to have conversations. There are a lot of resources out there. I think when the lockdown happened, I got a lot of advice from online as well. A couple of Facebook groups which I joined were, people just sharing stories about how they were able to transition and pivot to doing different things. And you get a lot of good ideas from there. The hard bit is being able to change. Our core business is dine-ins, right? Previously it was just sit down, coffee, breakfast, and we had to be able to change in order to survive. I think to be able to change your mindset, to change how you want to do something, I think it's the hardest bit. But I think if you're willing to change and take advice, I think there's so much information out there. I myself have chatted with a lot of other cafe owners to share about what we're doing and how we're doing it. A lot of local businesses like Rudimentary, Butcher 128 in Yarraville, One for the Crow, vegan place around the corner, and you've got Small Graces. We're all going through the exact same thing. Nothing that we're going through is is unique to us. But when we were able to kind of have a chat and then we supported one another, we're going to go, oh, you guys using, oh, what do you guys use for your booking system? Oh, have you got something to recommend? Yeah. And then they'll be like, oh, yeah, I use this, it's really good. QR codes, how do you guys get your QR codes? Oh, I use this one's free. And I think it's a lot of that sharing of information that helped made it easier as well. So I think just not being afraid to change, being able to listen and accept advice is huge. I think on the mental health side of things, like I mentioned before as well, I think having supportive partners was very important. When it all happened, we all came together and we just went, you know what, we'll support each other through this. Whatever it takes, we'll support each other. And we all knew that while the business had to thrive, it wasn't number one. And we were kind of like, if we have to shut, that means that it's better for everyone, both staff and myself, and we'll shut. That's, making money wasn't the highest priority then. Thinking back as well, if I ran this place on my own, I don't think I would ever allow myself to shut at all, because there's always that pressure that you answer to yourself. But I think having partners that were able to tell me that, hey, Ajay, it's okay. If we need to close our doors for a little while, just so we can have a bit of a rest, then just do it. It's all right. And I think the staff, having really good, supportive staff as well. We try to support them through this as well. We're like, you know what? If you guys need to take some time off, that's fine. Let me know what you guys can work, and then we'll work with that. And I try to keep as many staff employed as I could. I think through this whole thing, we didn't actually let any staff go. I said, you know what? If I got 2 shifts for you, I'll give you 2 shifts, just so we can keep you around and keep you working. As for customers, I always say that I really do have good customers. I think from day one, we've seen so many customers become friends. The lady that makes the mask for me, she and her husband were customers before, but now we hang out all the time and we're really good friends. And a lot of, I think, our customers who have come through here as well always ask me and then the rest of how you guys are going, because they know that this was a tough time. And the amount of support I think we got through them, just coming in to get a coffee, asking how we're going, even just walking by and saying hi, was great. I think having a cafe here in Maidstone, I've seen and I've grown with so many of the customers here is unique. Having my kids study in the local school here, my wife work at the local shopping centre here, really makes us a part of Maidstone. And I think that is very important in terms of being a local cafe. If you're going to be a local cafe, you've got to care about the people in the local area. And as much as I think I've tried my best to care for the people in the local area, they have given me back way more than I can ask for. And for that, I'm absolutely grateful. I just really am, I guess, lucky that we have customers that care enough to really call us their local, and I think that's a privilege to run a business in Maidstone. Yeah.